What's up, ladies and gentlemen? So, Universal Mastery. What I do on my channel is I break down the occult sciences to a very practical level so that you can use them and apply them in your day-to-day life and get real, actual, tangible results. Okay? What I'm going to be talking about in today's video is a continuation on a series that I have called The Tunnels of Set. And this is a very important series. It's a very advanced series, so this is definitely not for beginners. Although if you are a beginner, you still can learn from this for sure. But today we're going to be covering the tunnel number 11, and it's going to be called Kurgasiax. Okay, so if you want to know a little bit more about this tunnel, then stay tuned for the rest of the video. Okay, so the first thing I want to say is definitely make sure you go and you check out my Patreon. On my Patreon, I have exclusive content. Some of that content is going to be geared towards actual spiritual practices that can help you develop your spiritual awareness, that can help you develop psychic power, and that can help you develop occult protection. Okay, so I have a video, for example, how to do an invocation, which is a very foundational type of video when it comes to occult practices in general. So some of the videos on my Patreon are going to be geared towards practices just like that. Then the other bit of the videos are going to be geared towards educational entertainment, which is very similar to this video right here. So where you're going to be able to find the Patreon is if you go to the description, you're going to click the drop down. It's going to say My Patreon at the very top. Right next to that link. It's that first link at the top. You're going to click that. Now, in order to gain access to the exclusive content, you have to at least be a tier 2 member or up. In order to be a tier 2 member, it literally costs $9.95 a month, and that is literally, if you do the math, less than $1 a day. So there's absolutely no reason why you shouldn't be able to afford that, especially with the value that I have on my Patreon. As you go up in tiers, the benefits increase as well. And with that being said, I would love to give a special shout out to the top tier members of the Patreon. Their names are going to be mentioned right below that very first Patreon link right there. So huge shout out to you, ladies and gentlemen. Other than that, let's go right into the video. If you are new to this series, then definitely start with path number 1 called Tunnels of Set, Path 1, and Proteus. It's very important that you start there because in the first 3 videos I break down the foundation of what exactly the Tunnels of Set are. So if you're just jumping in now, you're going to have no idea what I'm talking about. So follow it going all the way in order from 1 all the way up to 22. Okay? Here we go. So Kurgasiax, path number 11. The 21st Kala is dominated by Jupiter and is refracted into a tunnel sentineled by Kurgasiax, whose name should be intoned imperiously in the key of A sharp. His sigil should be painted in rich purple on a bright blue ground rayed with yellow. The number of Kurgasiax is 315, which is that of ISH, H, to stand. Stand out, stand up. It is derived from the Egyptian as, which indicates the secreting part of the body, also ash, emission, and ASUT, the testicles. The sigil of Kurgasiax shows a homed or crescented, terminating in 3 caudiform appendages. The cross within the circle is the mark of Set, which denotes the place of the crossing indicated by the northern pole or axis, i.e. Dath. The gateway of the abyss. The triple tail suggests 3 modes of entry via the backward or caudal tunnels that connect Dath hindwardly with the power zones of Pluto, Jupiter, and Venus. These modes are glossed by the number 315, which is also that of OMRH, GOMORR, Gomorrah. A secret formula of Pluto, ISHH, the phallus, and IQRH, meaning her precious thing. Her precious thing. Which also has some connections to Lord of the Rings, where you have Smeagol saying, "Precious, my precious." Okay, so there's connections between that in regards to Dath. Okay, this gateway. Here we go. Precious thing. For Pluto, Jupiter, and Venus, respectively. The horn circle containing the equal arm cross is the horn barb of Set, spermatozoon, generated by the formula 315. This is borne out by the title of the tarotic key of this path, 21, Viz, the Lord of the Forces of Life, which translated in the terms of the tunnel of Kurgasiax becomes a lady of the forces of death, she who sends the incubus and the nightmare. In the verse of CCXXXI, relevant to this kala, Jupiter appears as the father whose reflection is the mother. Now then the father of all issued as a mighty wheel, the Sphinx and the dog-headed god, the Typhon, were bound on his circumference. The wheel is a sphere containing the mark of the beast, which is a revolving chakra that activates the forces of the Sphinx, the dog-headed god, the Typhon. Repeating the formula above described in the tarot, the wheel becomes the wheel of the goddess Fortuna, who determines the fluctuation of earthly life. The magical city associated with this kala is ascendancy, political or otherwise. Hence, the ascription to this ray of the scepter as its typical magical weapon. It is noteworthy that Crowley regarded the formula of Gomorrah, which is the key formula of the tunnel of Kurgasiax, as the feminine version of the formula of Sodom that obtains on the other side of the tree at this level. All right, and that's gonna cover it. So that's the tunnel right there. That's all the information. Obviously, there's a lot of advanced information on there, so definitely make sure you go through it multiple times. Go through any of these tunnels of Set videos multiple times, because there's so much information, so much advanced information, that it takes a couple times to read and really process and understand what Kenneth Grant is trying to communicate. So other than that, that's the information. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like, also hit the notification bell, and hit the subscribe button, because I'd love to see my subscribers go all the way up. And then definitely make sure you check out the Patreon. Once again, that's the very first link at the top in the description. Then go to the second link below. It's going to take you to my Facebook community. On my Facebook community, I'm going to be posting consistently in the form of written and pictorial quotes once I get 50 people in there, so definitely go there and click that link. It'll take you to a Facebook, it'll take you to my Facebook community, and then right there you'll see a pinned post that says private group and request to join that private group. So other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day or night wherever you are, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.